Hey, y'all. Hey, I almost quit today. Today is the day that I almost said, forget this channel because it was rough. And honestly, even me showing up here, hair all wild, swim clothes on, a pup in my face, right? At one of my sister friends' houses is a testament to just the power of pushing through to things that really matter to you. So I call this episode Unlearning and said it is the real power play. And that is because all across the nation, really across the world, because I've worked with leaders across the globe, um, executives, elite athletes, busy, ambitious leaders, and mamas making it happen are always adding more things on. We all have a to do list, but very few of us have a quit list. And so, if you watch my TED Talk, you'll hear me talk about it a lot, but I talked about how the power of a quit list can really help you play to win. What's on the top of mind? Overthinking, procrastination, and perfectionism. I tease and I say it was never really good to be down with OPP, right? And all the hip hop heads from the 90s laugh because we know uh, that it's an ode to the song. Get down with OPP? Nah, not yeah, you know me, but the opposite. So, yeah, those things, overthinking, perfectionism, and procrastination, are really just fear in disguise, dressed up in logic and preparation, right? But they're really just ways of operating in fear that keep you stuck in the sea of sameness. And I always say success and sameness cannot coexist, right? So, how can we go about unlearning? Well, it looks like this. If you watched episode 1, you heard me talk about seeing it, the power of vision, the power of a powerful vision, and how if you can't see it, you can't seize it, meaning you cannot attain it. And I talked about identifying your right side persona, feeling, emotion, right? And your left side feeling, persona, emotion. And I talked about what's in the messy middle. Well, the way that you really collapse time to speed success is by working through that messy middle and things like I've just mentioned, overthinking. I don't want this to freeze up. Let's see, y'all. Make sure that one time I was recording and and you could hear me, but you couldn't see me anymore. So um, my computer went to sleep. So I wanted to make sure that that wasn't happening. But the way that you collapse time, the way that you speed up your road to success is by working through that messy middle expeditiously. And it's called the messy middle for a reason. It's called the messy middle because it's messy. It requires you to unearth some borrowed beliefs. It requires you to set limiting beliefs to the side. I'm not borrowed beliefs. I think I said that. It requires you to unearth some borrowed beliefs. So what are borrowed beliefs? Those are usually the voices, words, and limitations that other people have put on you. You're never going to be this. You can't accomplish this. You're crazy for thinking that. Somewhere along the line in the midst of our lives, we take on the voices of other people. Sometimes our caretakers from when we were little, sometimes people in relationships, sometimes the voice of a leader who didn't know how to lead better, right? And we take those voices on and really they cover us like clay covers a statue, and subconsciously it happens. And when we're deciding to go for something, those voices start to spark up for us. And so unlearning that, going against the odd, not deciding not to settle for safe, but to really go after the life that you truly desire, to truly win at work, succeed at home, and design the life you love is the work of getting through the messy middle. And that's why it's not just this cute little hill you hop over, a mountain that you hop over, but it is the deep work of designing a life you love. And that's why when I say you can win at work, succeed at home, and design a life you absolutely love, people are like, can I? Not because it's not possible, but they're resisting the work of that messy middle. So today, why am I showing up like this? Why was I going to quit? Um, if you've been watching since the beginning, you know that I joined this as part of a challenge to show up in this space 3 times a week, and I made a commitment to show up perfectly perfect. And yet this morning, I had the scariest moment of my life so far. They say you can't heal what you don't reveal. And I'm actually not really ready to talk about what happened this morning yet because I might break down on here and cry, and I'm just not interested in that. But just know I had a very scary moment where I was toying for a while, about an hour, with the idea of a worst case scenario. And I kept saying, no, like I tell my clients, let's not focus on what if. Let's focus on what is. Let's not focus on what if. Let's focus on what is. Let's remain present in the moment. Let's not catastrophize, right? But then I got a call, which seemed to confirm some of those borrowed beliefs, some of those limiting thoughts, some of those biggest fears. And I lost it. I absolutely lost it. For 49 minutes of my life, I was shaking and trembling and crying. And yeah, this video definitely would not have occurred had what I feared to be true actually been true. Thank God it wasn't. Right. And so thank God it only lasted for 49 minutes, but it's proof how we allow fear to be bigger than our faith, or our faith and our fears to be bigger than our faith and our desires. And even and praying and literally shaking, I was saying, focus on what is, not what if. Focus on what is, not what if. Breathe, like 3 deep breaths. All the things that I would tell my clients, and transparent moment, it was not working well. So I may redo this episode, but I wanted to get it out here because I believe in one of the things that I am unlearning is only doing things when it feels good, or only doing things when I feel ready, or only doing things if I'm dialed up. And in my TED Talk, I also talked about creating that quit list that I talked about at the beginning. So in addition to overthinking, perfectionism, procrastination, fear, doubt, the voices of others, today adding showing up in a way that I think people will perceive as well. And instead, I'm just showing up because I said I would. So what am I quitting today? I'm quitting, right? I'm quitting on myself when things don't feel great. And I'm inviting you all to do the same. I'm even going to look at my notes because it's just one of those days. So what else do I have here? Oh, this is good. It says when you're thinking about starting a business, what shows up? I could lose everything. But we rarely think I could make more money than I could ever imagine. I have a story for y'all about that. Y'all know I have a story for everything. When you think about leaving that toxic job that has you in a misaligned team. Yes. Okay, here I come. I told y'all it was gonna be one of those days. So I got family coming. I guess if this was a live, y'all would just be part of the thing. So when you think about leaving that toxic job, what makes you stay, right? As opposed to thinking I could go somewhere else and be much happier. Those are the types of shifts that we need to unlearn in order to truly design a life that we love. I'm being pulled in a bunch of different directions. I'm going to end with this. The theme song for today is Eminem's Lose Yourself. He says you got to lose yourself in the moment. You know, you want it, you never let it go. And I would just like to invite everybody to remember that there's 2 sides to every coin. If the worst thing can happen, the best thing can happen. If the ugliest result can be there, the prettiest result can be there. If the hardest thing can exist, so can the easiest thing. And so as you're treading through the messy work of designing a life that you absolutely love, consider both sides. Lose yourself in the right moment, not in the moment that is trying to take all your joy away. I will see y'all in the next episode. I might redo this one. We might move on to the P. We'll see. But for now, Coach Tiff out.